Preparing students to demonstrate mastery of math state standards can feel like a dull, unending cycle of equations and practice problems. Unengaged, frustrated students can weigh on teacher confidence and lead to uncertainty about overall achievement. Two Ivy League-trained engineers observed this struggle and created a way to transform how students learn the fundamentals of math. Through the innovative Accoletics math program, EDA has helped more than 400,000 students achieve success on state-administered math tests and transformed the academic strategies and performance of schools nationwide. Accoletics' uniquely designed supplemental materials and tools are well aligned to your state standards and provide a clear path to exceed state proficiency standards. Through ongoing professional development, you will uncover common challenges and activate solutions that promise to improve student achievement in your school. By partnering with EDA and choosing Accoletics, you can start to see an unprecedented return on your investment in as little as one school year. Don't procrastinate on giving your teachers the tools to help students achieve their highest math potential. To learn how you can dramatically improve classroom instruction and learning, test scores, and student confidence, call, email, or visit Accoletics online today.
When daily tasks become too painful, it's time for change. Let our pain management and wellness practice, Valentine Integrative Health, elevate your quality of life and ease your discomfort. Visit us at valentineintegrativehealth.com and start your journey to a fuller life.
And welcome to the show, Allison and Marc podcast, Married in Media.
Yes.
Welcome.
We are too. I thought you were going to go into who we are.
No.
You want me to do it?
You only do it. I never do that part.
All right, because I think it's nice too, because of all the new people that we have on here who might not know who we are.
Growing every week.
That's right. We are two media pros. We're Gen Xers. We have 3 grown kids, right?
Yeah.
Which I still cannot believe. And we talk about everything from is that good? Okay. We talk about everything from politics to what's happening in the rap battle worlds, a little history, and a whole lot of love.
Did Kendrick go in? We'll tell you that. What's Drake doing?
There's an explainer about everything that Kendrick said in his. I didn't even know Kendrick and Drake were battling. I don't even know, why, when we have so much going on in the world, why is this happening right now?
Is it a manufactured distraction?
Where did
I don't
it come
know.
from? Who is battling? Who asked for this?
Yeah, I did. I tapped out. I tapped out. I'm into a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I try to stay on top.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm honest, I kind of tapped out.
Well, I thought it was like Chris Brown and Quavo. And now it's like Kendrick and Drake.
Well, it originated, I think, Kendrick, and then it's a whole thing. So, I kind of tapped out. If anybody in the chat wants to chime in, please be welcome. You're welcome to do that. A reminder, do you want your business to be featured on the Allison and Marc podcast? Well, join the MBN directory today. The MBN directory is like the yellow pages. It's the new yellow pages. Join them today and it'll be featured on this show. So call Frank now and you can join at 443-277-5531. And again, we are taking sponsorships as we speak. What's up, Sandra?
How about the whole old phone books when you literally, I remember as a kid, like a young teenager, me and Cynthia and Elaine, that was the crew back in the day, my Charleston crew every summer, and my best friends in life when I was that age. And what is that? What is that?
You know what it is.
Oh, no. Looking through the phone book, picking out people and prank calling. I mean, that is what we used to do. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
It was actually terrible because we would do something. It was terrible.
How far we've come. Well, speaking of how far we've come, your history is important. And Carl with the K is right here.
Hey, Carl.
Look at him. Carl, after having Carl, you had some new age issues, Wi-Fi issues.
Yes, I did last week. It was just it was going in and out. 1 minute I was on, and next minute just poofed off.
Well,
And
how were your
fire.
gigs though? In better news,
they've been going pretty well. I'm going down. I'll be at Arundel Mills again tonight, and at the TGI Fridays starting at 7, and then I'll be at the TGI Fridays on Owings Mills tomorrow night. And over the next couple of weeks, it's going to be all about music.
Okay, Carl, we're gonna have to come out there one night. We're gonna have to come out there and do the show from there.
Okay, I can make some arrangements for you guys. I'll talk to him when I'm
out there. Carl's the man, babe. Carl's the man.
That's Carl's thing. We're just gonna go and enjoy what
Carl. We're family. Where Carl goes, we go.
I appreciate that, and I'll go wherever you want me to show up for.
Right. Okay.
So Carl, we'll get you in and out of here. Let's do three. Let's go.
Not a problem at all. Let's start with the first one. I was going to hold off till next month since you got the Preakness coming, but I decided to bring this one out now. Okay. In the first Kentucky Derby, how many of the 15 jockeys were black? 6, 10, or 13?
I'm going to say 13.
I'm going to say 13 also.
And you both are correct. It was 13 out of the 15 were black. In fact, a lot of the black jockeys in the first few Preaknesses and Kentucky Derbies were black jockeys until Jim Crow kicked in.
Okay, Carl, let's talk about this just for a second, because I just find it
fascinating.
When you're married for this long, I guess you just finish each other's.
I couldn't help it.
Okay. Why? What happens? Because there's a lot of talk about erasure these days, and what goes on, do you think, really, like from a societal standpoint? I'm asking you to put that hat on, because anybody who studies history like you do, I know you've gone down this rabbit hole. Yeah. What's the point of flipping the cowboy or the jockey? What's the point of it?
And before you answer, Carl, I just want to insert just a comment, babe. I just want to, because the erasure, but they don't teach us the history. That's what. So anyway, go ahead.
Right. I mean, in my opinion, I was trying to start out with that, but basically, I think there was a generation that started to learn about this. Like when we grew up, we saw Roots and we started singing. Then that generation started getting old, and they started feeling guilty when they had kids. They said, "Well, I feel guilty. I don't want my child to feel guilty, so I don't want them to know about this."
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because as we learn about that and have to maneuver in modern day society, knowing that, let me see, my great great grandparents could have very well been born at the tail end into straight up slavery. Like, how do we move? It's interesting. But also the other part about that too, Carl and Mark, is like kind of hitting on what you said. With erasure, though, comes you don't really own anything. And it feels a little bit selfish to not share that, because what's the harm in Black people being the original jockeys? Like, what's the harm? What's the harm in it?
And that's what thanks, Vic, because that's what I meant. Like, basically, this was a movement of leadership to do it.
But jockeys?
This was a movement to, that's what I'm saying. There was a decision made that Blacks would no longer be jockeys. There was a decision made.
Yes.
Why don't they teach us the history? There was a decision made on all these different terms from when they took us out of office, Reconstruction. Right. There was a decision made. Why don't we learn?
Well, I get that because we're talking about Congress people, but jockeys.
No. Yeah. But it's a matter of power. Sports. It's a matter of power structure. If you
in most of the sports, the originals, like they always talk about the original baseball players and Jackie Robinson. There were more before Jackie Robinson. Some passed for white, some happened to be light skinned. But I'm just saying, there's been decisions. There was a decision made that we never learn and talk about that in these histories books. And that's crazy.
And no one
because certain people feel that to say, hey, these people were great means they think that it diminishes them.
Yes.
And that's the problem. It's like, no, it's just because I'm saying I'm pro-Black does not mean I'm anti-white.
Right.
And just because I want kids to know about these jockeys or these journalists or whoever. It's not anything again, right? It's not any, but they fought so hard to try and keep us down that you know, it's hard for them to like, there must be a reason, you know.
Well, I
They,
also
you
think
know,
politically they use race to get us blacks and whites to fight each other.
right.
But anyway, Carl, back to this
Okay.
Carl. You got to get out of here, Carl.
Not
Let's
a
go.
problem. Let's go. Okay, this next one. Alone Atop the Hill is the autobiography of Alice Dunnigan, who was the first Black woman to accomplish which of the following? Was she the first Black senator's press secretary, become a White House correspondent, or be a congressional staffer?
I feel like I'm just going to say this because if I'm not right, then I'm going to get my credentials taken. So I'll say she was the White House correspondent.
I'm going to say the last one.
All right, you saved your press credentials,
Thank
Allison.
Brandy knew it too.
Yes, in 1948 under Harry Truman, she was able to follow him around and be a first correspondent, as well as being allowed to go into the press, I guess the press secretary or the press box or something like that.
Again, back to history. Weren't allowed to go into the press box. Why, Mama? Why?
Yeah.
This is, you know what I mean? This is what we're talking about because, right, like you said, Carl, I think there's not only embarrassment, also just ridiculously of when we start talking about fairness and pride and all that
right.
stuff that we floated out there in a fake way, patriarchy, whatever you call it. I'm sorry, making fake all that stuff. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, it's always trying to squash any accomplishments by anybody, not them. That's all I should say. Because I've discovered this. Because there's another one, and this is taking us out of the country.
Okay, wait a minute.
What country's vertical $10 banknote features a portrait of Viola Desmond? This was a Black businesswoman who was jailed for refusing to leave a whites-only area of a movie theater in 1946. Was it Canada, France, or England that honored her portrait on being a $10 banknote?
Never heard this history in my life.
That's why Carl the K is a must-have for any event.
Yeah, I'm going to think about these countries, and so therefore I will say France.
I'm with you on France.
Canada.
French Canadian.
It was.
Damn it, Brandy got it right too. What is going on? Brandy and Carl got something going on.
Wow.
Yes, she was thrown. She was. I think she owned a hairstyle, beauty parlor, very successful. And she just went to the movies and they kicked her out, said, you can't sit here. And she was like, wait, I make money, this, that, and the other. And she went to jail for it and began the whole thing, almost like the Rosa Parks of Canada.
Wow.
That's amazing. Well, now I wonder if you can get one of those bills. That would be awesome.
But her history is.
Well, it was a recent occurrence. So you should be able to get one.
48. Okay. Carl, always fascinating.
If they want to reach you, Carl, where do they go?
Thank you so much.
You can reach me at my website, soultrivia.net, on Facebook, Black Trivia Network, on YouTube, Black Trivia Network, as well as Instagram, Black Trivia Network.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, and Brandy's going to see if she can actually get
she can get that banknote.
Carl, thanks so much.
I just want to thank you guys for allowing me to be a part of your show every week. You know, I really do appreciate that support.
Carl, we know that our research shows you're one of the reasons for our high rating. So that's our secret. All right, man. Take care, buddy.
All right, you too. Have a great week. I'll be touching base.
Ladies and gentlemen, Carl with a K.
Yeah.
Carl with a K. And now, babe, I mentioned, so Rodney C. Burris is an award-winning author. I just had Rodney on this week, and he was so powerful. I just wanted to get him on quickly, and he talked about emotional intelligence, and like well, what is emotional intelligence? Now, Rodney C. Burris, the C is for can do it all.
Oh.
What's up, brother?
Can't
hear us? You talk. Can you talk? You talk. Say something.
Can you hear me?
Oh no, I can't hear you either.
Oh no.
Huh. You can't hear us.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, got you. We got you.
Yep.
No.
Well. Let's try it. Let's try again. Let's see.
Unmute the mic. Oh, your mic is not connected, it says. If you can hear us, your mic.
Oh, the mic's not connected. Okay, good job, babe.
Rodney, it says your mic isn't
Rodney,
connected.
you have a mic button anywhere? Is this your phone or is it a computer? Technology, ladies and gentlemen. But so yeah,
Okay.
what got me thinking about it, babe, emotional intelligence, basically almost like reading the room, almost picking up the cue, being aware of others and picking up the cues that they offer. I thought about this with the Amanda Seales interview with Shannon Sharp and kind of the reaction people have had. And it reminded me of, to me, it kind of looked like a situation where if both had better emotional intelligence, it might have gone in a better direction in some areas of the interview.
What is emotional intelligence?
It's really basically picking up on the cues and being aware of others, their thoughts, their emotions, the sensitivities, their point of view. So it's almost like being aware of someone else's point of view. So if you come into a room and don't greet anybody, that could create a certain energy for people who believe that you should say hello when you come into a room.
Sure.
Now, for the people who don't believe that, it's not a problem.
Right.
And I think I'm noticing that we got people watching from Kenya. My friend, what's going on, John? Wow. I'm noticing that I think because of this generation and this technology, it's kind of creating, I think, sadly, people who won't be that gifted in that because they don't have a lot of experience. We got
to do something about these screens and how we're not used to. I mean, that
real people.
Plus the pandemic. I don't think that we really give the pandemic. It's not the respect because that's bad, but it's we don't really understand the damage that the pandemic did on us as a society. I don't think.
Right.
You got the kids, so these kids now that are graduating, class of 2024, these are the pandemic kids. I think about our middle child, Tyler, who was a graduating senior when the pandemic was raging, didn't have a prom, didn't have a graduation and all of that, spent the first semester or so or more at home if they went on to college or if they went into the work field or whatever, and I think that I think we as a society, there really needs to be a deep discussion about how we get back on track. I mean, that was a long time.
Oh yeah,
that we were isolated and afraid, right? And people were dying. I remember doing those totals every day. It was a devastating time. And so then you have that coupled with social media. Literally, I have young friends that I work with, and they always talk about how it's hard to meet someone, have a connection, a romantic connection. And I just feel for this, for that generation, because they're really going through it. So I understand that. And that brings up a funny point about us that we should say, a true story that happened in our house, talking about emotional intelligence.
Okay.
And I shared this with my people today. And my question was, when was the last irrational moment you had with your significant other, where afterwards you're like, now that was way too much energy for this, but it was something deep down inside. And I think that's what you're talking about. So here's what happened, family.
I'm hearing this for the first time. This is an exclusive. I'm scared to what's going to happen.
So it's stupid on my part, but so we're out. It's always I don't know what kind of pay schedule you guys are on, but we both get paid on Friday. And with all of the things, and we've been really open about this, and we talk about it. We have so many things on these paychecks now because we're trying to do a lot of things because the girls are
come on, King Jesus. Come on, King Jesus.
And so we talk about it when people normally, you do the student loans and all that, we're trying to do that very minimally and help the kids in school because that's going to be our contribution. And then when they're out, we're going to have to try to make some money and retire because of just life, right? So anyway, I'm out the other day. We had worked out and everything, and this was yesterday. And I was hungry. Somebody had put in my brain something about Chinese food early in the day. Does that ever happen? I had some Chinese food and it was so good. And then you need some Chinese food. So I was out and I'm like, doggone it. I got this $30 that I don't need to be spending on anything. But I'm going to go ahead and I feel like some dang on string beans and chicken. And I'm right here at Hunan Kitchen, right around the corner from our house. So I'm going to go ahead and buy it. And you know what? While I'm there, I'm going to get Mark a plate too, because doggone it, he deserves a good plate of Chinese food. We work hard, and I'll just pay this credit card bill later, right? So I go get the food, and I come home. I feel all triumphant because, like, you know, I've done something great because we're hungry. We didn't have anything in the fridge. And so we eat. So when I go to put my dish up, I look in the sink, and there in the sink is a big old healthy piece of broccoli. The big broccoli spinner family. When I say broccoli, I'm not talking about little chunk. I'm talking about like a big, good chunk of the broccoli. You know how when
it was one piece of broccoli.
One piece of broccoli intact. So this guy had to take his plate and scrape it into the sink and not put it back into your leftovers.
The one piece of broccoli.
Yeah, I said it was irrational. One piece of broccoli. But for me, that one piece of broccoli, and does this happen to you? And then you need to stop and just be like, this is ridiculous. But the one piece of broccoli represented, I don't need to be spending this money on this right now. I know the next day I'm going to put like $3 of gas in my car and come right back home, but I'm going to do something nice. And in that moment, it feels like you're not really appreciated in that moment. It's a wasteful thing. It's something like that the kids do. And you'd be like, doggone it, when you just put all in this, I could have eaten it. So that was my irrational moment. So emotional intelligence, okay, in that moment says, just let it go. But I tried to be cool with it.
You were, I didn't know.
You didn't, so you didn't finish it. You didn't want to eat it, that one piece because it was a good piece of broccoli, fam. And that's my confession. I overreacted, but doggone it. That was $30. Okay, yes. And Brandy, you're like these kids. They Uber and they Uber Eats. The food comes and it's just sit there and throw half of it away. So for me, that was that moment. But I tell you what, though, this guy came home and the first thing I heard was him going to the fridge to get those leftovers because petty me did want to eat the rest of your leftovers.
Well, here's the part about it, babe.
I said it.
Right. The part about it was one piece of broccoli. Because I understand that feeling.
Why throw it out?
Spencer used to always do the cone thing.
Throw it out, though.
Babe, put the one piece of broccoli back in. It's one piece of broccoli. A whole plate and rice. One piece of broccoli. Choice. No, that's irrational.
I said it was irrational.
That's irrational. Because it wasn't like I didn't. It wasn't like I didn't enjoy it. It was one piece of broccoli. I had eaten all the food. Actually, I've been down here, eaten everything, and it was one piece left, and I've been sitting out here. So yeah, no, I threw the one piece of broccoli out. Mm-hmm. But I didn't even know.
Here's for all the couples out there or other people like looking at, go ahead and put it in the trash underneath some stuff so the other person doesn't see it. It's like if somebody made you some food and you put it in the trash. Again,
the one piece of broccoli is the part.
Bam.
The one, I understand if it was a significant amount left, then it's like we're being wasteful. But one piece of broccoli does not a meal make. And that, I feel you, but I'm just saying, but you said it was, you said now.
Well, right. What did it go in the sink? No. Because it was a vegetable that went into the sink.
Yeah, because everybody knows vegetables. I'm doing the vegan thing. Everybody knows vegetables are trash. Let me just say this.
What?
Let me just say this.
Okay, well.
Yes, ain't nobody throwing away no damn chicken in the sink.
You're not gonna get it.
Vegetables are trash. Okay.
Wow. Okay,
but you saw me destroy the rest of it today, did you?
I bet you ate that broccoli today.
But it wasn't because of your reaction, because actually I didn't know that. You shared that at work. You didn't share it with me.
Oh yeah.
You said a little smart little thing, which you do all the time. That's your move.
And that is my move. So instead, I'm going to I spend my whole
Thank you.
Yeah.
Gregory.
Because I'm a person who I don't like to I'm not a confrontational person, so I'm gonna be like, babe, because it would have been way too serious because it's stupid. It would have been like, babe, you know what? It really hurt my feelings because I brought you home this food. I thought about you, and when I saw it in the trash, it felt like you didn't think about me or how I would feel with some of the food in the sink. That's how it feels. Now, see, who likes the serious moment?
No, only because it was one piece of broccoli.
I'm telling you how I feel.
That one piece of broccoli.
I'm just telling you how I feel, babe.
The one.
Telling you how I feel, babe. Can you receive it?
Look at Norma. Mark, you were wrong.
Can you receive it?
I can receive it.
There it is.
Well, thank God. Rodney's here. Rodney, are you there?
Rodney.
I would just like to say, first of all, thank y'all for your patience. I would just like to say she put emotional intelligence in there, and that's like the spade. She threw the spade down, bro. Like
I just told her what it was. Okay, I just told her. She just learned what it was minutes ago. Okay,
what's going on,
so, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Rodney C. Burrs. So, Rodney, this is awesome. So, thank you, because now the chat. I didn't know. Did you hear the conversation?
I know. I had to completely reboot, man. I don't know what happened.
Okay, so I was just saying, this is Rodney, Rodney C. Burrs. Rodney's like a brother, so
yes,
a younger brother. He's killing the game, y'all. Featured in magazines around the country, speaking all over the place. He grew up listening to the Big Fat Morning Show.
That's right.
And so
that's right.
He was just on the show. And Rodney, I just wanted to get you on quickly because I know you're busy. But we were talking about what I was going to play a clip of the Shannon Sharp, Amanda Seals video, because it seemed like it was. I thought about you, the emotional intelligence, and then we turned into our conversation. Allison was upset because she bought me dinner the other night, and she saw a piece of broccoli that I threw away, and it hurt her feelings. She didn't necessarily say me that, but she just said a snarky comment walking away. I didn't know it impacted her that much. But so please break down.
Well, yeah, man. I just would like to say, first of all, I don't know why you throwing her feelings in the trash like that. Like I personally, no. Hello, Allison. I'm just trying. Listen, I'm just trying to get some points, Allison. I done heard so much about it. It's a good thing. My wife don't like me, Allison. My wife told me, first of all, don't try none of this therapizing that I do out here. This postulating. Right. She said, don't bring that home. That's the first thing. The second thing she told me was, if I have anything to say to her, to write it down and then throw it away. So oh,
that is hilarious.
My life. But
before you start talking about it, Rodney, somebody said, I think it was Angela in the chat. She said, it's not about the broccoli. It was just one of those days, and that is what it is. It's like, because it's never going to be as petty as throwing away a piece of broccoli. And by the way, Mark is doing a vegan thing, so the whole dish was Chinese vegetables over rice. So I brought it home, but to see it, it just represents like, you splurge on something. Splurge sounds silly on a meal, but we're stretching our paychecks, right? And so when that happens, I think it just sets it up for hurt feelings because you don't necessarily feel all the way appreciated. Although Mark is a good man who appreciates, all of it. But yeah, in that moment, even like I got to put my crown back on right because it's slipping because I felt petty in that moment. But it did bring up something in me, so it's so interesting. And then, go ahead.
And then on the flip side, Rodney, it does. I sympathize, empathize, and I feel bad because you never want. That's the funny part about, I think, husbands and wives, both. But I think men definitely, because sometimes maybe we don't communicate it well. But the irony of most of the anger that men have, it's usually a moment when you think you're doing everything right. And to be honest, I think one of my baggage pieces from being raised by a single woman who was overworked, underpaid, underappreciated, and was at the end of her wit's end, at the end of the day, as a kid, I never wanted to hurt my mom. I never wanted her to be disappointed in me. So I think that carries over. It does. Allison even knows it. My wife being disappointed in me breaks my heart. Yeah. My daughter's being disappointed. So I'm almost like, and so I don't know if I've ever said that, but that's very real. I just thought about it because that's what my mom was coming home stressed. Anything would set her off. And it would be like, I just don't want anything to set her off when she comes in the house. And I think it's the same way. So hearing that and knowing that how much she did spend that extra that last $30 to buy me something and then feel that way, I feel terrible about that. So anyway, go ahead.
And the crazy thing about it is like because we know it's not about broccoli. Allison just said that, right? It's one of those days. It was the moment. It's never as petty. It's not splurging on the meal so much. And and I know this is going to sound crazy, but please, if we can just kind of hear the wisdom of this, tucking in the broccoli up under the napkin, under the paper plate behind, right? It allows me to live my truth. I'm full. I'm sick of this vegan diet, right? Like I'm done. It allows me to get rid of the extra, but I also don't get to hurt the Alice's feelings, the wife's feelings. Now, you want to know what's crazy? My business manager's calling me. He was like, I thought you was done at 5:30. Well, sorry. But real quick, the funniest thing about it, Mark, remember when we were on your show, you were telling me that next time she buys you broccoli, that you was gonna throw it all away. You remember you just no, I'm joking. I'm so joking.
Wow.
I appreciate y'all. My business manager's calling me. I would love to come back.
Come back and see us.
For a moment.
Come back and see us. All right. Okay.
All right, that's a nice little burst. You can see, so great personality, just great information.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. So let's speaking of relationships and all that, so Cher, who we love.
Yes.
Cher, who is like unproblematic all these years and still killing it, right? 77. I think she's 77.
Damn, Cher.
She is making headlines because now she's funny. And she was on the Jennifer Hudson show, and she basically said that she only dates younger men. First of all, she says because men my age are dead or they're cowards. Now, she's been a funny person, but her boyfriend is, I believe, like 38 or 39 years old. And it's interesting. So when we think about, now Cher is an icon. So, but what do we really see when we see that couple versus a man who is 77 with a woman who's almost 40 years younger? Why does it bring up the difference? How do we feel about that? Why do we feel like a younger man is like out there trying to just scam or, you know, be an elder scammer, and a woman who is younger? Do we feel the same way?
Well, you know, it's interesting. I'm going to say my opinion, and I'm curious about the chat. The funny thing about it, Cher, is to me, Cher is so, I think, such a strong woman and so self-assured. Mm-hmm. I almost feel like I don't put Cher in a victim box. So even though she's with a younger guy, in my mind, I'm almost like, I never had that thought, like, oh, he's gonna get over on Cher. I feel like I feel like you're not gonna get over on Cher.
What you're gonna get is every red carpet because you're with Cher.
Yeah.
But let's take it out of the box.
I never feel that way with her. Well, but like you say, with some people, I would feel that way.
Well, let's take it out of the box. What is that emotion that when you see an older woman, and if she had a man 30 years younger, 20 years younger, do you look at it the same way as when you see a man who has a woman who is 30 years younger or 20 years younger?
No, definitely not.
And why? That's what I'm saying. Why do you
yeah, there's double standards. But like you said, I think that movies say if it was a regular woman, not Cher, like you said, if it's a regular woman, not a Cher where we know blah, 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 people definitely, I think, almost criticize, judge, whatever.
The man or the woman?
When a woman does it, when a guy does it,
who do they look on it like? Okay, I see you.
Well, I mean,
the man or the woman?
I think it's kind of like it's been like that since the beginning of time, where starting with kings marrying 14-year-olds. Sadly, that's been the model. And so when you see an old guy like that, I'm not shocked by it. I think sadly, you see an old man with the beautiful woman. I think for the woman, you think he's a gold digger, and for the guy, you think he's probably a creep.
Yeah.
And then when you see it with women, I think, if it's not someone like a powerful woman like Cher, I think you do feel like maybe, he's taking advantage of her.
Mm-hmm.
Or she's just, or women, I think, would say about their sons, she's taking advantage of him. But
so in both cases, men though have the upper hand.
I think women are judged harshly.
Yeah,
right?
okay. Me too.
In every scenario you're in, women are judged more harshly.
Right.
Which is almost like racism. I think it's like racism, sexism is almost hand in hand with racism.
Yeah. And ageism and all that. What's Brandy say? Depends on the age. If the girl's 18, the guy's 18, the man in the 40s. Yeah. That's it too. Like it's almost like, but I mean, there are some people who are older than their years, more mature or whatever. But what does a 40-year-old person want with the 18-year-old person?
Well, the interesting thing, I mean, I'm not going to say apologize.
If one of the girls brought home a man who was your age, what would you say?
Well, again, it's
if Skylar, who's 22, brought home a man who was 58, I need some answers. What would you say? What would the conversation be with the man?
Look, I let them live their lives. I'm not going to be like,
this will be my face the whole time. Yeah, damn right.
I'd be like, look, blood. First of all, you need to share that prostate medication.
gross.
First of all.
All right, let's move on to something that's less controversial. Both.
But how do you
right.
feel? Are you
I feel like the young person in both cases is looking for an opportunity. Yeah.
Are you freaked out by it?
Well, I feel like, let's be honest, like if as a younger person, like I think some older people are interesting and okay, that's fine. But at a certain point, like I don't know what to talk to you about. And it's giving father role. You know what I mean? And so and next thing you know, they're trying to like tell me what to do and all this. Now I'm like in a daughter place. So for me, it's just not for me necessarily. The balance is too unequal.
I guess.
And like in Cher's case, I would imagine that he's just like, and tell me about the time that that Elvis wanted to date you. It's too much like.
Well, and Cher still. I mean, Cher's still fine too. I mean, like a million. However she is.
She's 77.
She's still. You know what I mean? She's still attractive. She's still energetic. She's fly.
Okay.
She's bad. You're a bad chick now.
She's bad.
Somebody said they don't believe. So let me just say this. Some people are like, "Oh, Mark, I know you. I don't believe that you feel that way." I think
not say anything. I think you have a man-to-man conversation. What do you want with my 23-year-old daughter? And can we do you want to play poker sometime?
I mean, at the end of the day, though, what I'm saying is these kids.
I wouldn't like it. They
live their own lives.
I would not like it.
And so you can say what you want to say to them, but they pick who they pick.
That's true. I mean,
so I would say my conversation would be, look, man. Okay, you're the guy, right? Mm-hmm. I'm like, look, Leon.
Yeah.
His name is gonna be Leon.
Randy name, right?
What's another girl named Charles?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Charles, we're the same age.
Right.
What do you see in my daughter? My daughter's amazing. She's amazing. She's sweet. She's intelligent.
Yeah.
But your daughters are her age.
Right.
Help me understand how this works. Because
that's good.
The same physical issues I'm going to have, you're going to have.
Yeah.
And my only concern is that, and also just what's the connection?
And are you looking for somebody to take care of you?
And he's gonna give a long ass answer. It's gonna be a good. Well, actually, Mark, I'm wealthy beyond means.
Yeah.
And if something happens financially, that I'll be taken care of. And if I happen to pass away, your daughter will be rich, and she will be when she signs these papers.
Welcome to the family, Leon. All right. I want to. Okay, can we switch gears
and let me ask you something, Mark.
Yeah.
How's your savings account looking?
Yeah. I heard your wife got mad at you because you threw some broccoli away. Because y'all was broke.
Man, don't worry about my bank account. Worry about my wife's bank account. That's what we
Let's talk about bank accounts. Now, I don't know what else you have.
Thank you, Angela.
But I need to say that recently we had somebody hit the Powerball. Do you have Charlie's picture up? Somebody hit the Powerball, and it couldn't have been a better person.
Yes.
Do you have it?
Yeah.
Okay.
For Charlie Sapon, who came to America from Laos, winning the massive Powerball jackpot was heaven sent.
So God picked for me. Thank you.
He's been living on disability, undergoing cancer treatment for the last 8 years.
I'm still having chemotherapy. I pray to the God, need some help. Now I can bless my family and find a good doctor for myself.
As a lump sum, the payout after taxes is $422 million, which Sapon and his wife will split with a family friend.
I had feelings that I cannot win it. I can win it. But I didn't think I'm gonna win this big.
Come on now.
Yeah, and the family friend, when you say split, the family friend had bought the tickets. And so he's giving some to him. But I mean, it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. And for me, and we know how expensive hospital bills are, and his family is set. And I like what he said. He said, I said to God, I need some help, right? I need some help. And it's weird. That thing keeps coming up in my life because I had somebody tell me after I gave a speech, and the guy just said, I feel compelled to tell you that if you ever, and the speech wasn't anything about this, but just out of the blue, he said something came to me, spirit came to me and said to give you this message that if you, when you need something, when you need help, just say with 4 words, God, I need help. God, I need help. Like, how often do we just surrender all of it and just say, God, I need help. And so Charlie winning that big money like that and being so gracious and going through what he's gone through and immigrating to this country from Laos and all of that, look, I'm a believer now. Just when you need it, throw it up and just forget about it. So let it go.
Now let's talk about this.
Let it go.
Let's talk about this damn taxes now.
Mm-hmm.
He won $1.3 billion.
Yeah.
He's getting. Wait a minute, babe. Is he splitting 400,000?
He's giving some to it. That made it seem. It's in his other statement. He said he's giving some to.
But I'm saying, is he only getting 400 million? I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's after he's taking the lump sum after taxes.
Damn. Let me say it one more time. Damn, babe. 1.3 billion.
And let me say that.
400 million.
And let me say this. I really don't understand. That's who we need. We should have had on during tax time, like a tax person. Because I don't get it. Like, why does the taxes come out of our paycheck and then we still owe and have to file in? Can we simplify this? Look, I believe in helping my fellow man. If you tell me my taxes are going for education or towards the environment, I understand that. But please, can we figure out a system to just take it out of the paycheck and then be done with it? Like all of this out of the paycheck and at the end of the thing, and sometimes you still owe. Help me understand. I feel like, please help me understand it. So yeah, he's taking home $433 million. But that's pretty nice sum.
Yeah, not complaining, just pointing out. Just a little testimony. Back when Mark used to do his podcast and give out money on Fridays, what a blessing it was for me to get some when I had it. Let me put them out. And I always wanted to pay for it. So sweet, Brandy. Girl, this is go. Just send it back. No, just send it back, Brandy. Big brother Mark needed. I'm serious.
Brandy is lovely. And it's a blessing to yeah.
Daisy's like, that's very interesting. Go ahead, Daisy. What's up, dear?
Yeah.
Keisha's in the house. Angela's was a straight robbery.
It is.
It's voluntary. Okay.
The lump sum versus the installments and all
Look at
that.
Brandy, give me that cash up. I'm just playing, Brandy. Wait till
playing.
Okay, hold on. Put that cash up out there, babe, just in case Brandy got a little change she wants to send out.
Never. Brandy gives me in good vibrations and love.
But she's gonna buy us dinner. She's gonna buy some broccoli.
Good. Brandy just got back from one of her many vacations.
I know, Brandy. What is going on? Brandy she fell in love with an old man. I think an older gentleman who's got a younger lover.
Oh boy! All right, you had something before we get out of here, right?
So, Charles, as you guys know, my favorite podcast, my favorite podcast, Club Shay and Uncle Ocho. So, Charles Barkley on today, and Barkley talked about how it was his decision. I don't know if you guys remember. For you young people, Charles Barkley years ago did a commercial with Nike, and basically says, "I'm not a role model."
Oh, okay.
And he was like, they weren't feeling it at first, but of course, the commercial rolled out. It was a huge success. He talked about that, but also he gave Shannon Sharp a shout out. And of course, we always think about you when this comes up. So here's the clip I'm talking about, including that original commercial. If you guys remember, Charles Barkley, "I'm not a role model," from Nike years ago.
I am not a role model. I'm not paid to be a role model. I am paid to wreak havoc on the basketball court. Parents should be role models. Just because I dunk a basketball doesn't mean I should raise your kids.
Yeah, I'm trying to make a difference. One of the things I'm proud of you, and I don't talk about this a lot. I'm not trying to get praise because I keep it very quiet. So for the last 15 years, I've been giving $1 million a year away to charity. Okay. And I don't even tell anybody. I'm sharing this because I'm going to tell you why I'm proud of you. So I started out in my high school, my college, Wounded Warriors, ALS, Parkinson's. But the last 8 years, the point I'm getting to, I did HBCUs. Okay. It means a great deal to me to be able to do that. Right. And you being a product. When I watch you and Stephen A., when y'all go back to y'all HBCUs, I just think it's really important what y'all do for the HBCUs. And it really makes me feel good when I write that check because, we got a couple of them here in Atlanta. I think 3 of them are here in Atlanta. But you know, just being a product of HBCU, how far you came, I'm really proud of your success.
Appreciate it. And I think the thing is what that does is that you think about three of the most prominent morning voices, myself and Stephen A. Michael Strahan.
Yes.
With the HBCU.
Yeah.
He's a Texas Southern.
Yeah.
I'm Savannah State. Stephen A's Winston-Salem.
Yeah.
So it goes to show you, you don't have to go to Syracuse.
Yep.
You don't have to go to Michigan or one of these PWIs in order to do what we're doing because we're living proof of that.
And babe, Allison S. Seymour Jr. Johnson is also a proud HBCU graduate legend.
And so is
in the
Vice
Hall of
President.
Fame.
I mean, like,
The Hall of Fame at Hampton University's media program. When you go visit, go see her beautiful face there on the wall. Right, babe?
Yeah. It's like it's a lot of us doing these things out here. I think it just gives you the confidence if you know, in those 4 years. It's interesting, like, to be in the majority for a little while. It gives you a boost to let you know that you're seen and you're visible and that you can do anything. And just ask Vice President Kamala Harris, who is a proud graduate of Howard University. And also, speaking of, and you know, that goes everywhere too. We just honored, there's a local, well, he's not a local, but he went to Shenandoah, I think it was Shenandoah University. Is that the one? Correct me, fam, in near Winchester in Virginia. He's up for a Tony Award for a leading role in what is it? Not The Outsiders, Pony Boy. I forget the name of that book. Anyway, so, and he goes to this small university that a lot of people probably haven't heard of, and he's making a way. So it really, I guess it helps if you do go, okay, so you think acting, what, at NYU or one of these other big acting schools. He went to Shenandoah and he's up for a Tony. So, you know, it doesn't matter, like,
It's The Outsiders.
The Outsiders, yeah. It doesn't matter, like, how you get it. If your work ethic is a certain thing, you can still get it. So if it's between not doing that thing, and in this case, not going to college because you didn't get into the top acting school in the country, and you can still get there. So that just speaks to the perseverance, you know, and it doesn't matter. And so, but what a great story that he came from Shenandoah, So anyway, I see you all out here doing it. And speaking of that, wherever these college or these high school graduates are going, today was National Decision Day. And so you see on your feeds, like, all these kids taking their next steps. So if you have a graduate class of 2024, if they're going to a 2-year school, a 4-year school, if they're going into the military, if they're going into a career, a professional program or whatever, congratulations on your next steps. Y'all doing it.
And also, for those who have youngins, so our family has been our move forever. So our oldest is 23. We have 23, 22, and 19, right? And we just kind of, like, me and Allison are doing more things together because we have time. But if you still have them in that stage where you got to drop them off and pick them up and all that kind of stuff, just really enjoy every moment. Absolutely. Enjoy, because they really do. All the cliches are true. They grow up so fast and it's different. And me and Allison were talking about just how they're getting into their own lives now, you know, and it's kind of like, it's different. Like, watching them, you really are just watching them. They no longer need you like they need you before. They need you in a different way, but they're not babies anymore. And so it just is a reminder just to enjoy, because we enjoyed those moments.
Oh yeah.
They seem like they lasted a long time.
Hard. You're running here, going to basketball practice, volleyball. With who I anchor with in the morning, he has one kid in basketball, the other one's in volleyball, and they're both travel. So he is gone. Yeah. And you know, sometimes you're like, I got this, I got that. It grows by just like that.
Yeah. And
this is the kid. Can you see this if I put this here? That's the kid from Shenandoah. Like, humble kid. He is killing. He's up for a Tony Award.
You know what I mean?
His name, look for him, because we're going to claim him basically, even though Winchester is whatever. His name is Brody Grant. So anyway, I love those stories. But yeah, it doesn't last forever. Enjoy it. It gets better. I'm feeling like that in my space too. Like, we came on and we were talking about when you spend that last little change you got on a meal, right? So that does not last forever. It does not last forever. So enjoy that meal. Nothing is really promised the next day, and go for it. I'm not saying be reckless. I am saying enjoy your life and be grateful.
What about when so now they're grown, but they keep nickel and diming you? Can you send me 40? Can you send me 40? Can you send me 40? and then you're like, okay, this was going to be my lunch, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Here it is. You can't, if you have it, you can't say no.
It's gonna come right. As my dad used to say, it's giving, expecting nothing in return. That's love. That's prosperity consciousness.
Yeah.
You can never go wrong with that. It's gonna bounce back to you just like a boomerang, fam. And and do what I do. If I'm hungry or can't afford something, or just go take a nap.
That's right. Sleep will cure all ills. You're right. And water will put a damper on everything. You just be like, never mind.
Oh boy.
Hey, you want some water?
All right.
All right.
That's it, right?
I think that's it.
Okay. Well, next week let's be back and ask Allison.
Well, Dorothy says Dorothy, definitely be willing to give you an interview. I will. I'll reach out, and I'll probably do it. Dorothy, we'll do it. We don't really do a lot of interviews on the podcast. We'll just do like interactions or
we can talk about
a quick thing. But so you know.
We can talk about it, Dorothy, and maybe there's somebody like a lawyer who can on here who watches who can do a little limited pro bono work, help you out, point you in the right direction. You never know. You never know.
I love it. So we got you. I got you, Dorothy. I'll message you. Okay. All right. Y'all have a good one. We'll see y'all.
Happy May 1st.
Oh, happy Cinco de Mayo.
New month.
And Shamira wants us to do an environmental show on PFAS. Yes, definitely.
Oh yeah, that's Shamira and Lewis's thing.
Definitely.
So much poisons out there.
Oh my goodness, it's crazy.
Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, Brandy. I love you. Thank you so much for being so present all the time with the love and support and encouragement. And look here, if nobody else logs on, we got some faithfuls, and Brandy is one of them. Brandy is one of them. So have a good rest of your week, Kirby. Love you.
All right, next Wednesday. See you guys. Take care.